Hello and welcome to another Growth Chats video on A Stream in Life. In this video, we're going to talk about learning and learning how to learn so you don't just stay stagnant for your whole life. You continually, progressively improve.
Exactly. Hence, Growth Chat.
That's right.
The growth mindset, which we talked about in a previous Growth Chat.
Yes. So how do you make learning not boring?
Learn about something you're interested in. So
That would do it.
The fact that our viewers are watching this channel, they probably found us for a couple of reasons, possibly. One being RVing and wanting to learn, as we always said.
We teach you what not to do in an RV.
Yeah.
And in many ways, we teach you what not to do when you're working with plumbing. Link to video here. We teach you what not to do in a wide variety of life.
Yes. Pretty much we show our own experience of learning by doing, hoping that therefore you will learn from our mistakes and have a better chance at learning by doing in the future.
And there might be little bits of wisdom here and there that slip into our videos.
Exactly.
Including this one.
Yes. We actively try to learn pretty much constantly.
I had my middle finger stuck out, so it's like I'm flipping the bird. I didn't mean to do that. Continue.
We're actively trying to learn pretty much all the time. And a few ways we do that. One is learning by doing, like we were just talking about. We have been having a little bit of that recently. I just learned to can, and the canning went well. The jam making, you'll see that in a future video. But, learning process.
That it was.
Learned how to pick mesquite pods recently too. And those are all our learning by doing type of activities. But we also like to learn by reading, learning.
Absolutely.
And so we're often reading nonfiction books or blogs or articles or anything else. I mean, you spend a lot of your day diving into the finance stuff and everything like that online or IT or...
I will be very honest. In school, I was taught that learning is not fun because none of the books that we were forced to read and do reports on and answer questions and do tests I was not interested in any of those books.
Yes.
So I was graduating from high school and even to some degree college, I learned that reading really sucks because it's nothing that I'm ever interested in. But recently, and mainly because you have continued to encourage me to read things that I might actually have interest in, imagine that. I have developed an appreciation for the craft of reading words on paper or digitally in a Kindle.
Exactly, which he just got for his birthday, which I was super excited. That's what he wanted.
I got a blue Kindle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we, as
Brand
you guys
new.
know, live out in the middle of nowhere. And with libraries, hard to come by at all.
Did you say library or library?
Libraries. Hard to come.
Libraries? Okay.
Hard to come by at all out here, but also with COVID, it being more difficult to get and receive books. Online books, ebooks are really a great way for us to continue our learning. And so we both have Kindles. We both keep them updated with both fiction and a lot of nonfiction. Some of our favorite nonfiction that we're reading right now, I'm actually reading Limitless by Jim Quick. And it's actually teaching me how to learn, which is where this whole idea came from. And the things you need to be able to learn something and some of the skill sets and tools you can use to learn things more quickly. I haven't quite gotten to the speed reading or any of that yet, but like the motivation and the methods and the mindset that he goes over on how to learn something new is really, really not encouraging. I'm trying to think of the right word. It really cements how to learn something new, especially if it's something big. Like canning is not a huge thing, but if I wanted to learn something much bigger, how can I set myself up for success?
Okay, in 30 seconds, your top two things that you've learned from that book.
How to get your mindset in the right space so that you are wanting to learn. You need to have the right attitude. If you sit down and you already think, I hate this book, I don't want to learn this, I don't know why I care, you're not going to learn it. And you're just going to learn it for the test. If you're in school or whatever, you're never going to remember it again. But if you can get your mindset and your attitude and your energy level up because you have a good why behind why you're learning this thing, then you are going to remember it. Especially if you use things like splitting up your time so you only read or learn for 25 minutes, recalling what you learned before, taking good notes, things like that.
Okay, so you need to go in wanting to learn.
Yes.
So that's one. What's your second?
I would say probably some of the skills. So like I said, I haven't gotten to all of them yet, but I was just talking about how you learn things and remember things more at the start of a learning session, at the end of a learning session. So if you sit down and read a book for 2 hours, you're probably only going to remember like the very beginning and the very end, unless something in the middle was really exciting. But,
also guilty.
Yes. But if you split that time up and instead read for 10 to 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, and then at the beginning of the next time, sit and recall what you learned in that previous 25 minutes, you have more beginnings and endings. So you have more time that you're learning because it's only 25 minutes, and you did a recall of what you learned, and so you're now cementing it in again.
Well, one thing I do when I read every night is I read the last page of the previous chapter as I begin the next chapter, so I have context and I remember what happened.
Yes.
I remember what just happened.
I do something similar if I take notes on a book, like I'm taking notes on this one, I will go back and read the notes from the previous time. Mm-hmm. And that will just give me a full overview of what I read before, and then I'll continue on. So that's very useful.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Love it.
What book are you reading right now that you're liking?
I'm reading Rework, and I love the book. I don't understand the title, but I love the content. They're very short, 2 to 3 page chapters about really, it's more like relearning or refocusing on really life in general and business and things like that. It's very countercultural in some ways. The things the things that you've been taught aren't necessarily true in every circumstance, and that's really what you learn from this book. So it trains you to think about things a little bit differently. And I've really enjoyed that aspect of it so far.
Very cool.
I'm 80% of the way there.
I know.
And I've only been reading for 4 or 5 days.
I know, that's very quick. So we read a lot of, especially me, but Steve also reads a lot of very interesting books and articles and things like that. So we thought, why don't we share some of those things with you in these talks, but also that way you can just go and look what we've read recently and liked. We're putting a new section in our Amazon store so you can go and actually see some of the books that we recommend. Full honesty, most of these books we did not buy from Amazon. We either got them on sale. We might have bought them from Amazon, but usually we wait for a sale. Or we're getting them for free from the library. So this is just an easy way for us to put them out there for you to see. Feel free to read them any way that you would like to read them in the future.
Absolutely.
But any book on that list is something we have actually read and recommend. So hopefully that will be useful for you if you want to, say, learn how to learn or learn about random life hacks and things like that we enjoy reading about.
That's right. If there's something that you found in your life that has completely transformed the way you learn, comment below. We would love to read it because we like to know about those things and try some things out and see what works and throw away the stuff that doesn't.
Exactly, because that's what life's about. Continuously learning and changing and getting better.
That's right.
Improving.
That's right. I would say subscribe if you're not already, but let's face it, you're already subscribed. And like the video if you found some value in it. Share it with somebody if you think someone else might find value in it. And we will see you in the next video. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Let's cheers. Let's cheers.
Tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee. Without Bailey.